Hey there YouTubers, it's Leo Alderpold again. I'm out for another mushroom forage. Smoking some beautiful blend given to me by Foggy73 Wolfgang called Makua, which is Burley, Virginia and Perique, if I'm not mistaken. So, interesting subject to the video, this one. Out mushroom foraging. This bad boy here is the penny bun, or the sep. Very, very tasty mushroom. Now, if I'm out in this country and I say I'm looking for penny buns, people will know what I'm talking about in general. But what about if I go to another country? Finland, Sweden, France. Well, sep's the French word for this guy. Italy, say porcini. That's the Italian name. But you know, really, we need one name to describe these things. Fortunately, a Swedish chap by the name of Linnaeus thought of all of that, and he gave this bad boy the Latin name, or the botanical name, I should say, Boletus Edulis. Now, botanical names, or scientific names, taxonomical names, whatever you want to call it, very, very interesting subject, and a very important one too, because it does allow you to identify something, or to identify an attribute of something using just its name. So this guy, as I say, Boletus Edulis. Boletus, the word Boletus is the name of the family that it belongs to. So this belongs to a family called the Boletus, or Boletes. Edulis means it's edible. Very, very useful name. Interesting guy, Linnaeus. I've been to his house in Sweden. Very interesting. So, when you're looking at plants and animals and fungi, it will really, really pay to know the actual name given to it by taxonomists, because they describe something about that particular species that's very unique to that species. So as I say, the Boletus Edulis, that would be one to use. This one here, if I can find him, where'd he go? Oh yeah. Forgive me ducking off camera, you're on quite a high branch. This one here you'll remember from one of my last videos, this tiny little version of one. Very sweet little mushroom from the family Russula, which I told you about in one of the last videos, the brittle gulls. Now I told you the common name in this country for this particular mushroom is the sickener. In actual fact, its botanical name is Russula emetica, and that gives you a clue as to what it does. As medics amongst you will know that an emetic makes you puke your guts up, and indeed if you eat this little guy here, he'll make you puke your guts up too. So all of these things get a name for a reason. You come across a lot of names quite commonly, like sativa, for example. Pot smokers amongst you will probably have heard the name sativa. Sativa just means it's cultivated. So I'm standing underneath a beech tree and a holly tree and amongst other things a chestnut tree. The sweet chestnut is known as Castanea sativa, which means that it's been cultivated. Castanea is from the Latin for chestnut, I believe. Abroad in Spain and Italy, Portugal, France, castagna is the common name for the chestnut tree. Castanea sativa, castagna sativa, cultivated. You see how these things all work together. Another interesting thing, so underneath these beech trees, Fagus sylvatica, sylvatica meaning of the woods, you find a lot of these guys growing. This is the beech milkcap, and the botanical name for this is Lactarius blenius, and it gets its name Lactarius. What is lactaria? Lactate. Milk. Well, if you break the cap, of this guy. Oh, bright sunshine. Now let me step aside. I'll give it a squeeze. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Yeah, there you go. It exudes this milky liquid, hence the name lactarius. So, very, very interesting subject. Similarly, another interesting one, this one. If I've got it here. Oh yeah, here we go. Culturally and historically, this is quite an important fungus. This one here, a lot of the backwoodsmen amongst you will know this guy. This is the birch polypore, and its given Latin name, or botanical name I should say more correctly, is Piptoporus betchalinum, and it gets the name betchalinum because it grows on birch trees which have the name betula. Very important. Otzi the Iceman, 5,000-year-old guy found up in the Italian Alps, was found with 2 fungi on him, and this was one of them. This has been used historically for many different things, but not least its antibacterial properties. You can actually, I'm not going to get my knife out, I'm going to take this one home, so you can actually cut a sliver off this and wrap it around a cut on your finger or something like that and use it as a band-aid, and it's got natural antibacterial properties. So these have been used for a long time for that. Also you can dry it and you can make a tea with it, which is very, very good tonic, but actually because this grows on the birch tree has a chemical inside it called betchaline, hence which it gets its name presumably from betulus, betula rather, the tree itself, and that has very important and very significant actually anti-cancer properties. Now that's not just hippie shit, that's stuff that's being looked at scientifically. The birch tree, similarly with the sap and the fungi growing on it, like this guy, all have cancer healing properties. Very, very important fungus. So yeah, that's about it, I think. A bit of a ramble on, what are we on? Ooh, 7.5 minutes. Those are edible varieties. So, take it easy, folks.